You want to know why they put me in charge? It's because I'm willing to do what needs to be done.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I'm your host, Escalante TV. Now, I woke up early this morning to go ahead and catch my favorite new show, Star Wars: The Bad Batch. I was so excited. I got my phone to check up what's been going on, if I got any notifications or anything. I check YouTube, and I noticed that Raging Red Panda posted a new video, and it was a take on a new comic, one of the new comics that came out of the spring line of Aggretsuko, the Oni Press comic releases, and it was part of the Meet Her World comic line. I think it's apart from the main comic line, but you can go ahead and watch his video because I think he had a really good take about he had a really good take on this comic, and I decided to have my own take and go ahead and sort of skim through and read through this comic and examine it. And yeah, it's pretty much feminist propaganda. So I'm also going to talk about the comic writer later on as well. But I've wanted to have my own take and interpretation of this comic because I really feel like it's one of those out of place comics compared to, something that the regular writers would write, or something that even Rarecho would write in his original story. And just from this comic alone, it really feels like the person who was given the instructions to write it was given very little good instructions, because here's the thing, right? The Aggretsuko comics are written in the West, and they're produced by Western writers and Western art directors. The art direction is pretty good. Okay, it's really good. There's nothing really to nitpick about it. Just kudos to the art directors and the people who drew the characters. They're really good. But the writing itself here is something I want to criticize and give a take on. So it pretty much feels like the writer was given just the bare bones of who these characters are, what the situation is, and what's taking place culturally and socially. I feel like she was told. I believe her name is Annie Briggs, the writer, and she was told probably that they're office animals, they're office workers that are animals, and they're in Japan. So write a story, see what you can come up with. And I guess this Western take on Japanese culture was taken out of the ballpark, pretty much. Any sense of this taking place in Japan or embracing Japanese culture, like Rarecho does in his Netflix show, is thrown out the window and substituted for almost feminist, kind of almost left-leaning Western ideals, which is pretty much not what the show is about. And just reading every speech bubble here, like just the first page itself, we're already overloaded with so many speech talk. It looks like a small college thesis already. But the first guy you see is Anai, and he's just sweating his head off, like he's speed running a video game. Numbers, gotta love the crunch the numbers, 1, 2, 17, all of the numbers. And then you get to see, of course, Tone asking for tea like he always does. And there are a few pages I wanted to point out where some of these characters just feel out of character. They're not themselves. So pretty much how the story starts off is that basically the employees are given some sort of gift for their hard work and stuff, and it appears that the women only got a paint and sip. They just got a coupon for arts and crafts activity, while the men, it's quite a mystery. And here's this thing about that's gonna come up next. I like the Hello Kitty reference on the bathroom door. I guess that's where the artists got their creative liberties. But there's an argument here concerning the glass ceiling. Now, if you guys don't know what the glass ceiling is, it's pretty much a theoretical framework that pertains to women specifically, and it pretty much examines sort of the hierarchical work structure, and that pretty much women typically do not reach a higher position in the workplace, basically, is what my understanding of the glass ceiling is. And what's strange about this, applying this glass ceiling argument here, is that Subone is used as a character to crack the glass ceiling. If you watch the Aggretsuko, you would know that Subone is not really the type of person to break the glass ceiling. In the show, and canonically, Subone has been the person to actually put down her colleagues, her male and female colleagues. So it really seems strange how Subone would be the one to crack the glass ceiling. And there's a lot of interpretations about this. The glass ceiling, how perhaps it could be misconstrued. It's misunderstood a lot, and that's, typically women don't really hold these positions for very long. Is there's maternal duties they choose to go through a maternal lifestyle, dropping out and taking care of a kid, and there's all sorts of arguments like that. But just moving on, it's awfully strange here that Haida doesn't want anything to do with Aggretsuko in this comic. He kind of just pushes her out, excludes her from the group. And usually he's the type of guy who wants her to be part of the group. And here it's just like, yeah, sorry, the elevator is, it's already full. So sorry, we wish we had a bigger elevator. Bye-bye. And then here's the thing that's one of those in-your-face things. So Feneko pretty much says jealousy may be more like joining the ranks of the thousands of men in history who stomped on our rights. So this is definitely one of those in-your-face propaganda moments. It's one of those tell and not show things. And here's the thing, right? Like a good aspect to storytelling, or a good method of storytelling, is show, don't tell. Like, I think that's what you want to include in writing as well, is you want to show and not tell. And here, it's just telling instead of showing. It's just, men are treating us like second-class citizens. We definitely deserve better. And here's the thing, right? Like, they're almost painted. This argument is almost like a black and white argument. Like, women get it bad and men get it good. And really, like, the thing about Rarecho's writing compared to this is that Rarecho's original story is that really men and women get it pretty hard in Japan. Women just so happen to be also part of that workplace demographic that's overworked, and so are the men. And the men are also shown to be as submissive as anybody else. I mean, Haida is, I think one of the first lines towards Haida was from Feneko, and he was pretty much like, you suck up to everyone, you bootlick to the higher ups as well. So it really doesn't, it feels out of place. This story really feels out of place. Like, Washimi getting all these notifications, and she's overworked as well. But I mean, look at our poor guy Anai at the beginning. He's just out there crunching the numbers as well. But they want to show how women in the workplace get it just as bad, like worse even. But pretty much they have this conversation about more breaking the glass ceiling and reaching a higher up position, blah blah blah. They're painting, and then as soon as we get to one of the parts is that the ladies pretty much find out that the guys are on a yacht, and they all of a sudden steal a boat, and they dress up as pirates for some reason. And then so here's the scene where pretty much the men are almost vilified just a bit, like they're just there to pretty much suck up to the CEO's nephew so they can get a promotion, and they all of a sudden act like drunk frat guys. They all of a sudden start drinking and doing all this weird crap. And then the women get up. The strong independent women dressed as pirates come in, and they show the men who's boss, blah blah blah. I'm not interested in really reading this feminist college thesis Retsuko does her thing. She sings, and the story eventually comes to an end. And I don't exactly know what the direction was or what the audience was intended, who the intended audience was for this comic, because from what I understand is that it's mostly very young people who are probably not even in the workforce yet, probably get these comics. I think more the casual audience that probably works for a living, like millennials, watch the Netflix show and then tune off and move on with their lives. But I think this has a really bad impression on everyone, really, men and women, young men. And I feel like the more that this stuff is repeated, like stuff about the glass ceiling, and women are prone to be in less paid positions, and they're in lower positions than men. It really puts down people more once you repeat that stuff. And all of a sudden now, women, people in general, if you put them down, they'll have the expectation that they can't even achieve something higher. And I feel like, I think the word sexist was used more than once, and it really was a more in-your-face type of thing. It was more telling than showing again, and that's pretty much it. I feel like, this comic didn't really sit well with me at all as a guy, and it does feel a little insulting, especially to Rarecho's original story that this is based on. I don't think this is really what Aggretsuko is trying to capture. It embodies the Japanese culture, and it shows it through this through the chibi anime style, and it just so happens to as well connect well with Western viewers on a global scale. And here it's just very alienating. This is very alienating. And more about this writer, Annie Briggs, is that she's also known to be more out there towards, I guess, more the fourth wave feminist movement. I think mostly modern feminists are in the fourth wave, and she's tweeted some really out there stuff like there needs to be more women Bigfoot hunters. So I don't know who they hired for this. I really hope this isn't the direction that the comics are going in, because unfortunately Star Wars, the High Republic, the High Republic books have the same sort of agenda pushing stories that this comic is just showed. And I'm also pretty alienated from the whole High Republic stuff, and I'm not really interested in Star Wars: The High Republic. So I'm hoping that there's just a bit more quality control, and there's actually like good storytelling, good stories to actually be told, written, and revised before they're sent out and printed. Because here it's kind of a stark warning where this Western publication is going. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments, what you guys and gals think in the comments. You're welcome to go ahead and discuss that. Leave a comment down below, like this video if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.